What is up, my friends? So, I am very much so excited when I read about Happy Death Day 3 possibly happening, as the writer is said he is working on a script for it. Now, Happy Death Day, when it first came out, when I saw the trailer, I said, that is going to be a classic. Like, that is just like, it just spoke to me in a way. And so when I went to go watch the movie, I was like, yep, there it is. This is your classic. And it did amazing at the box office. I believe it made around $125 million for a really low budget horror film that didn't have big names attached to it. It had up and coming names, yeah, for sure, but it wasn't really like a big name attached to it. So I was like, yes, perfect. Happy Death Day to You got announced, and I was like, I'm excited. I'm excited for a sequel. I really enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the universe, the feel of it, all of that. I said, Blumhouse, you got yourself another hit, right? It didn't happen exactly that way. The movie went and came and made about half of the money that the first one made. Not exactly what you're looking for with a sequel. You're expecting it to make a little bit more than the first one did, and so on. So, when Happy Death Day to You was coming out, they were marketing and everything, and they were hinting at a third film in the works to conclude the trilogy. Now, after all of this happened, and if you remember during that weekend with the bad box office numbers and everything, Jason Blumhouse, a lot of the people were saying, I don't think it's going to happen because it didn't do this good, the second one. So we don't see a third one doing any better. But just recently we heard that they were working on a new script, so here's hoping. So when they were talking about this with Jessica Rothe, she had this to say. Jessica Rothe, of course, being the main protagonist of the film. She says, it feels very important to both Chris and I that if we do have the opportunity to make a third film and finish the trilogy and finish Tree's story, we want to do it right. I feel so much love and so much deep protection over her as a character, her as a final girl, and her as a role model for young women and people of all ages. So I would never want us to sacrifice the story and her journey just to make it something smaller than it deserves to be. And exactly my thoughts on it as well are that if you're going to make a trilogy, you have to give it all. Like, we can't say and be here after Happy Death Day to You introduced all of this big and I think that was a problem with Happy Death Day to You, honestly, in my opinion, is they branched out really like a lot, and no pun intended to Tree right there, but they really went all like sci-fi on us, and I think that's where a lot of people got lost in the sauce, because the first one was simplistic. You don't have to explain really. And so if I think like the charm of the first one, and with a lot of these movies, is you don't have to explain every single thing. It's a movie, it's fiction. And I think that they really were trying to sort of give us an answer as to why things happened. And like, you can do, like, you're telling too much. You just have to show. It's a classic thing we always hear, show don't tell. And it really does affect the story over time. Like, I would love more feeling like I am like, what the hell's going on? Like, confused, in a state of sort of, how is this gonna go, and I'm not sure exactly what world I'm in. But the first one was very much so perfect with the horror, with the comedy, that you didn't care about all the other stuff. And then I felt like the second one was like an essay, a technical analysis on how all of this works, and we're just like, we don't care, just make us like be happy like the first one was. So I think if they're gonna go for a third one, it definitely has to feel like that first one did. Very much so a fresh concept that took some tropes that we were used to from other films, but really that didn't matter, because at the end of the day, the story and the characters were so engaging. So for a third film, that's exactly what we need to get, I feel, and hopefully that's exactly what they're going to give us. She actually continued saying, making any kind of follow-up film is always really tricky, since you want to make sure it lands the right tone and in the right place. So I'll be interested to see if we're lucky enough to find the right place and find the right way to conclude that story. And I feel like that is something that is definitely going to be hard to do, because in the sequel we sort of got a conclusive end, I feel, whether they were going for that or not. But you opened up a can of worms now that's all over the place, and so that all has to be addressed now in order for it to feel like a good film. She said, Chris Landon's brain works in so many brilliant and unpredictable ways, and so I'm sure that title knocked around his head brain for a while. but I would follow him to the ends of Earth, whether it's on Happy Death Day 3 or Happy Death Day to Us or a different project. I just think that he is one of a kind. And to hear Jessica Rothe talk about Chris Listway, who is the writer and everything, I'm pretty sure that they really were trying to deliver a film that was going to be above and beyond what they worked on first. But Happy Death Day to You just didn't stick. And a lot of it does have to do, I feel, with it coming out in February as well, as opposed to Halloween like the other one did, which sort of makes people be like, Halloween movie in Valentine's time, I don't think so. And I feel like Happy Death Day was that. Like, it came out in Halloween, and people want to go see a scary movie during Halloween time right now. Like, we got The Empty Man coming out, even though that looks like a pile of, I don't even want to say it. People are still going to go see it. Well, I don't know if people are going to go see it right now, but people want to watch scary movies during Halloween, and that's when you get a higher peak of interest. And so I feel like Blumhouse wasn't that confident in Happy Death Day to You that they pushed it to February, because I'm pretty sure they didn't want to crowd it in October, and I think that's exactly what happened here. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens in the upcoming future with Happy Death Day 3, whether it's going to be a film that will be released and be good, or whether it's going to be a dud like Happy Death Day to You, and that will be the end of it, which will be very sad because Happy Death Day is a great film, just the sequels weren't all the way there. What do you think, however, about Happy Death Day 3? Did you even watch the first one or the second one? I went to go see both in theaters at screenings, and I can tell you, the first one had a bigger reaction from the audience than the second one did. I feel like I told you the second one just made you get lost at points because it was trying to put so much scientific stuff in it, and you don't need to explain that. Just let us see it happen. The killer, very scary. I was really hoping that Happy Death Day would become like the new Scream. But in it, like, I thought that this was going to be our new great horror meta film franchise that was going to revolutionize once more, just like Scream did back in the 90s. But sadly, the sequel just didn't live up to it. But maybe this is going to be a case like Nightmare on Elm Street, where the sequel was but then they come back and give us the 1, 2, 3 punch with the upcoming movies. It could happen. It could be a Nightmare on Elm Street thing, because we all know how Nightmare on Elm Street 2 was, but then the sequels that came after that, they're pretty good. So let me know your thoughts below on Happy Death Day. Are you excited or not of a possibility of seeing this story be fleshed out a little bit more, or are you just done with it right now and want to see something new? Let me know. I like to know. Anyways, as always, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? We talk all the stuff that you want to talk about in pop culture that is buzzing. And yeah, leave me some more stuff you want to see in the upcoming videos. Follow me on TikTok, Twitter, @NerdRound. You can also follow my Anchor. nerdround.com is my website. I'll see you all next time. Turn on the bell for notifications. Subscribe, like, comment, share. As always, stay safe, stay positive.